up, y'all? I'm back with another protective style, and never in a million years did I think I would be doing mini twists. You got that right. I have teamed up with Ywigs to bring you their Afro kinky twist hair. Say that 3 times, okay? The hair is super springy, very lightweight. It's given that like super curled twist type of vibe. So if you're looking to do something similar to like a kinky twist, or maybe even a natural 2-strand twist, this is going to be the style for you. Now, first things first, separate the hair. The hair was really easy to separate. It almost just kind of did it on its own. For those of you wondering, I did end up using exactly 2 packs, although I received 3, and I would not be myself than to encourage you to start off with freshly washed hair. Y'all know, typically I'm using a Mazzani heat protectant. I will definitely have every single thing that I use linked down in my description box, so don't hesitate to check that out. I get so many questions about even the Pattern Beauty blow dryer. Y'all, I have loved this thing since we met, okay? It just helps me go through the bulk of my hair in about 10 minutes just to get through really quick and easy. And my hair is a little bit more heat trained than before, so it is bouncing back to its curl state, and it straightens state really, really easy, which makes it even easier, okay, for me to go ahead and just trim my ends. If you guys need a tutorial on how to do that at home, I have quite a few. So if you want a like dedicated video on like Chrissy, how do you maintain your natural hair? Let me get a little silk press and the trim. Let me know. It's about that time. Summer is quickly coming to an end, okay? Now, to know me is to know I'm starting off the style with a middle part. And I just like to do this just because I like for my hair to more so sit in that middle part, very crispy. And so that's just my preference. If you guys want to do free parts, totally feel free to do that. If you want to do triangles, whatever you come up with, you can. But I really wanted to create something that was a little bit easier for beginners. And I find that really sectioning out the hair before you really get into the style makes it a lot easier just to grab, maybe split one piece of hair and then continue with the braid. So that way you aren't spending so much time like, oh man, I made this section too thick. You would already know that before actually getting into the style. Now, typically we want to start from the nape area going up, and if you section everything out correctly, you should end up with being able to easily create a middle part with no problem at all. Now, obviously, I don't expect for you guys to know how to braid upside down. If you are just like, Chrissy, how in the world are you doing your hands like this? Go ahead and opt in for just a twist. You could flat twist it, pin it, whatever you need to do. But the goal is to go ahead and get your parting set and up out of the way. That way, once you start braiding, I'm telling you, it'll be super easy. Here, I'm kind of just measuring like, oh, okay. So I can get about 6 to 10 braids here, depending on the size of them. And I instantly knew that I was only going to be wearing this style for about a week to a week and a half. So I did not want to spend so much time making these mini. And when I say mini, I've seen people do these smaller than like the size of your pinky. If you have that kind of time and you know that it's worth the investment, meaning you're going to be wearing this style for maybe about 4 weeks or maybe even about 2 months, absolutely go in and do these even smaller. Your hair will appreciate you for it later. But in my case, I knew that I really wanted to focus with the top more so looking full. So I created an illusion. For me, it was more important for me to go ahead and get the twist in a size that was about the same as the first 2 rows at the very top of my head. And so I gradually made those sections a little bit bigger. I could have totally split the section around my temple area and right above my ear into 3, but I did this intentionally because again, I knew I did not want to wear this style for so long, but this was going to be perfect for me to be able to get my hair up and out of the way for the time being. And so if this size is suitable for you, absolutely follow this method, but keep in mind all of our head shapes are a little bit different. So the best rule of thumb is to take your comb, lay it flat against your head, and use the width of the comb as the first indicator of the part. Hope that made sense. I know that's a lot of information. It really is. Practice makes perfect. You may want to play with this. Do this on the day that you're just like, all right, I want to learn how to part. I have a little free time. You can practice. If that is not the case, do not obsess about perfection. The goal is for the first 2 rows. I promise you, if the first 2 rows look nice and clean and you're going to be wearing it in a middle part, nobody's gonna know. Okay, how would they know until they pull it apart? But tell them to stay out your business. Now, for products, you guys, it's truly up to you, whatever edge control you have fallen in love with. I have tried so many over the years, and I found myself going back to the Cream of Nature Argan Oil, and this is their, I believe, like their stronghold. So they have the red container or the red top that is more of just like a standard hold, and then they have one a little bit more tacky, which is in that kind of like reddish, I said red, yellowish orange container, and that to me just does the trick. I did go ahead and actually end up taking 2 strands. So remember I told you it was very easy to just pull the hair apart. I showed you guys that in the beginning of the video. I originally tried to do this with just 1 strand, and I noticed it didn't quite measure out. That would have totally worked if I had smaller boxes, smaller braids, but in this case, 2 was the best bet. If you guys decide that you really want this to be even fuller, absolutely, that bottom row, let's make that 4. The row after that, if it was 5, let's make it 7 to 8. And so on and so forth. That's how you'll really create the volume. And if you want this to be even thicker, okay, you could absolutely use a 3rd strand. If you wanted your twist to be super juicy and plump, you don't really want to see your parts in between, absolutely go for that method. Now, in case you guys are wondering, this is a 26 inch. Now, keep in mind also, this is super curly, kinky afro hair. So think about this like you would your natural hair. Just because you have the length when you press it out or you go to blow dry it does not mean that hair is going to look like that in real time. It's going to have some bounce back. It's going to have that spring. And we are also folding it in half. So when you consider that, right? 2 and 2, 26, that's about 13 inches long, and that's exactly what I ended up with. If I was to measure this out with the hair completely installed, that is roughly the estimate that I got. If the hair is not pulled out and it's just kind of sitting against, I guess just sitting freely, right? I measured about 10 to 11 inches. So keep that in mind when you're deciding the length. Also, another tip is I am actually twisting the hair to the right. Twisting direction is so incredibly important because you will get a completely different type of twist. If you guys are not familiar with what I'm talking about, I'm actually going to create a special video just for you guys. It'll end up being a short, so you definitely want to make sure that you are not only following me here on YouTube, but also Instagram and TikTok, just so that you don't miss the video. I really want to show you, and I may even just reshare because I've seen another creator do this as well. But essentially, just showing you the twisting directions and the results that you will get. If you twist to the left, the twist will tend to be a lot looser and more elongated. If you twist to the right, considering the hair is more of a spring twist, it ends up just kind of twisting upon itself and becoming extremely springy, super twisted, and absolutely just having that like bounce of a true kinky twist. Keep that in mind. I twist it to the right to achieve more of a kinky spring twist look. So just keep that in mind. I promise, do what it is that you feel most comfortable with. But if you make the mistake of twisting one to the right, one to the left, you will immediately see the inconsistency and the difference. That is something that is not so beginner friendly, but it is critical information for you to know. And also, if you decide that you need a little bit more hydration once you actually started braiding and you don't necessarily want to use oil, because we know all of these products could essentially run down your face and start to cause breakouts, absolutely go in and apply the edge control, not directly in your scalp, but just to the base of your hair, and then go in with some type of like curl cream or some type of leave-in conditioner on your ends so that you're able to just kind of seal in any moisture that was completed from like the conditioning and also that heat protectant. So definitely the most important thing is making sure that your hair is completely hydrated and that it's going to be happy and healthy in the style. I think trimming your ends every 4 to 6 weeks, or I should actually say 6 to 8 weeks. 4 weeks may be a little bit too soon, but absolutely 6 to 8 weeks is going to be the standard for you to retain length. If you are somebody that doesn't really experience a lot of breakage, a lot of like snags in your hair when you're washing it, so on and so forth, you may be able to stretch that out a little bit more. But please, and I mean please, do not reach that point of like 10 to 12 weeks without a trim, because your hair is absolutely going to be affected by that. So I'm going to keep this going. I think that you guys should have gotten the technique at least a little bit by now. I decided that I did not want to install this in like just a way of like, oh, we're going to do split the hair into two and then do a twist. I did it just like I used to with my box braids, where I literally use my strand of hair as the third leg for the braid just to get it started. And then once I have my hair right in the middle of the braid at some point, I go ahead and split my hair into two and start to twist. Super easy. You guys are going to get to see this a million times before the actual end of this video. So do not worry, okay? If you need to slow it down, you can. If you want to speed it up, if you're like, Chrissy, you're doing too much talking, I just want to watch. Listen, now is the time for that to happen. I'm going to give you a little peace and quiet for just a little second, but I really wanted to make sure that you guys knew at this point I had finally reached the second bundle, and by the end of the style, I only ended up using literally a bundle and a half. I could not believe that myself. I was like, oh, wow, even with doubling up the strands. But anyway, going to continue from here, and I'll see y'all in just a second. Now that y'all have had a little bit of time just to kind of chill, watch, and learn, I really wanted to emphasize the importance of keeping the base of the braid really, really tight and snug. In some cases, I got a little lazy, okay? And I decided that I wasn't going to do that. I ended up needing to reinstall it. If you do not secure the base in a way that's going to make sure that the twist is not going anywhere, it will slip out. It can slip out. I have pretty kinky hair, so I don't ever really have situations like that happen. But if you do have more of a silky texture, naturally it's super soft, naturally, right, without adding any additional moisture, then you may want to reconsider the way that you install these. You may need to braid down a little bit further than I did. If your hair is even kinkier than mine, you may only need to braid down maybe about 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you start the twist. Whereas I braided down about 5, 6, and then started the twist. So you guys, once you get into it, you'll understand what I mean. But straight out of the gate, I was like, okay, this is actually cute. I wish that it was a little bit longer. So halfway through this, I was like, dang, I should have actually taken another strand and elongated the hair. Literally doing like a feed-in twist. I never even considered doing that, especially because I had so much hair left over. I could have taken this from being about 13 inches to the full maybe 20 if I did it the right way. Anyway, that will be a thought process for another video. If y'all want to see me actually transform the hair to make it a little bit longer, let me know. I'd be happy to do another video like that for you. And when it comes to my edges, I used to be against using the hot tools, but since I stepped away from doing like the whole relaxer and all that stuff on just my edges, I typically go in with like the thinnest flat iron. I mean, so thin on like 250 degrees, and it gets my hair just straight enough. I add a little curl to it, throw in a little bit of the edge booster on the base of it, tap some little pump it up just because it's that extra strong cold, I was about to say edge control, holding spray. And y'all, my edges literally do not move. Even on vacation, everybody's like, Chrissy, how did you just go underwater, come back up and your edges still swoops? Girl, I'm convinced it's to pump it up, and you're trying to figure out how to get it out. Yeah, when it's wash time, then you'll go in with a clarifying shampoo. But until then, don't worry. I do not want to stress y'all out thinking about edges, okay? Y'all, the style came out so beautiful. I cannot make this up. I don't know why I did not do this style sooner. It is giving like I'm on the way to locks. And I have always said when I turn 30, I'm going to lock my hair. Actually, I'm probably never going to do that when I have the versatility to just do so many styles. And as you guys can see, it's super easy to tie up. In this case, I didn't actually use like a hair tie or anything. I literally just like tied the hair upon itself. And then I'm leaving it free now because I'm like, I kind of like what this looks like. I do appreciate the thought process of having clean parts, because if you do more of like a freestyle, when you decide you want to do like that left or right, kind of throw the hair over to the side, it's just not as clean. Again, it's a preference thing. If you are more concerned about volume, you absolutely want to make these parts a little bit smaller, boxes a little bit smaller. If you're doing the free part, you absolutely want to take smaller sections just so that you're able to really bump up that volume. But for me, the length, the volume was extremely natural. I didn't have anybody second guess like, oh, did you go and get your hair braided? Everybody's like, oh, your twist out is going to be so cute. And I'm like, do y'all not see these knots at the base of my hair? Obviously, that was not the focus. I got so many compliments. I got this oversized scrunchie at a Suave event, but I know that there are a ton available at like Target, Walmart, Amazon, so I will be sure to link it down below because you guys, super pretty, super girly, just a quick and easy way to kind of like give the style a little bit more va-va-voom, or at least in my opinion. I am the queen of hair accessories, so whether you want to go get more scrunchies, you want to get some like claw clips to do some cute little styles, or even if you decide to do like some headbands, y'all, okay, you absolutely have the freedom to do whatever it is that you want. I instantly had the thought of like, let me do like a little French roll. I don't think I rolled this the right way, but it was able to be pinned up quick and easy. And because the hair was super kinky like mine, okay, it just really made the style hold in place without having to do a lot at all. I literally took about 2 bobby pins and just like placed them in like the top and kind of like the middle section just to hold everything down. And y'all, I was like, the aunties, okay, including myself, absolutely fallen in love with this style just because it looks so regal and like cute. I don't know, it just gave me very much like elegant. I could have went in and added some like gold little beads or like gold little clips. Y'all know those clamps that you can kind of put on, take off, whatever. If you wanted to have a couple pieces out, you could. If you didn't and you wanted to tuck them away, that was also an option. Y'all, this hair ended up being more versatile than what I realized. And I ended up going to quite a few events over the past few days, and this style came in handy. So I can't wait to share that content with you guys. But so far, so good. No complaints. My hair did not feel weighed down at all. The product I did feel, you know the feeling when you get box braids and you're like, okay, she used edge control, everything's looking nice and fresh. If you don't like that feeling, I am a person that loves that feeling. If you don't, go ahead in about maybe 5 days. Actually, y'all should be at the pool, the beach at this time. I know school's about to start, but girl, go in for that last little dip, okay? While you can, especially with your hair like this, even if you want to just sit in the shower, let it steam, you can. And you absolutely are able to just go and do a quick little wash, condition, just like you would your natural hair, just to get rid of some of the product. If you're one of those people, I'm not like that. There's a ton or a large group of people that just choose to install hair as it is. They don't really care about the frizzies. I don't know. It's just something about a nice and clean part that really just sets my soul on fire, okay? I was a bit mad at myself for being lazy and not actually creating that third row on, that little temple area. But y'all, I'm not gonna lie, the style did what it needed to do, okay? We got the updos, we got the half up, half down, we got the French roll, we got the ponytail just going straight to the back, serving nothing but face. And all that I could think to myself is like, younger me, where was she? Where were these styles? Okay, I'm just happy to be here for you guys that need that style inspiration. Y'all know this is absolutely my favorite thing to do. Ywigs has done it again. Of course, first with the crochet, the boho knotless crochet, and then the Afro kinky twist. And pretty soon I will be bringing you guys some boho knotless braids. And I'm really, really excited to show y'all that. It'll be my first time, new to me and new to you. I love y'all so much. Stay pretty, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, babies.